Shabbat Shalom, Kahalo Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers out pushing the word, truth and sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yeshuan. Yeah, with today's episode of Skeletor Says. All right. And Skeletor, he's pretty much bringing out everything. So let's get that. Let's see. Let's go to Second Ezra's 16. I believe it's 16. So lock it. Okay, so bear with me for a moment. I'm kind of going in the spirit here. All right, let's go here. Behold, the plagues. 2nd Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Okay, so what we're seeing right now, today started at sundown. Yesterday. Today started at sundown yesterday, and that was the end of the Passover. So everything just sped up exponentially. I woke up to a strike on my page from September of last year. This devil, I mean, for me to only have less than 100 subscribers on one page and then less than 20 on this one, right? This devil sure is afraid. He's sure afraid of me. All right? That's like the third strike in 3 weeks. So the new song Ba, that channel is probably going to be gone. They went back to 2022 to strike. They could do that at any time. So I see where it's going. I'll appeal it, but not right now. I need to throw up first. So anyway, this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And these things, not only are they coming one right after another, now they're coming simultaneously, right? With this whole bank situation, which is not going to get better, which they're bringing in. The solution is the CBDC. And then after that, they're going to force the MOTB. So we're just that close, all right? So even so shall not, I skipped this, 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. Okay, meaning there's no time in between the plagues that are coming in. They're coming one right on top of another, which means simultaneous. All right, it used to be 3 months, something would happen. And then the next 3 months, something would happen. Then it turned into week by week, and we know that the Most High is speeding up the time. I'm gonna get that before I show this today's episode of Skeletor Says. He's gonna say basically the same thing. He can be jumping from World War III to the financial crisis to uh, what do you call it? The Civil War and just everything. All right. 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So everybody, it says the world shall mourn. Okay, I believe that's oikomeni going straight into everybody's catching hell right now. Okay, even those with their heads stuck all the way in the sand. All right. So let's watch. Well, let me get this first. What was I gonna get? Let's see. Oh, speeding up the time. Okay, so let's get It's lucky. Bear with me. All right, this is Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, so the time is speeding up. If the Most High is condensing the days, it seems like one plague is right on top of the other. And that's what he's doing. Why? For the sake of the elect. Otherwise, it's devil, right? No flesh. He's doing his thing. Okay, what is going to come of this financial crisis? Negroes are going to want their money. A nigga got a whole $200 in the bank. He's going to pick up a gun and go threaten the teller and say, I want all my money right now. I want the whole 200 right now. They're going to throw him in prison for carrying a gun into the bank. And Esau is going to get what he wants. He's going to get the little 200, right? Which they're just taking people's money on some bail-in type shit right now anyway. But it's not going to stop the guns from, see, when you can't get your little money, right, then you got to turn to violence. And Esau, when he can't get his money, right, when Esau sees that the market went belly up and he's on the high rise, he's on the 68th floor. Well, that's when he jumps, all right? But right now, Esau is in the spirit that, well, I'm going to kill myself, but I'm going to take as many niggas as I can with me, right? And they'll probably try to give me a strike for telling the truth because that's what they do anyway. So let's listen to Skeletor. The days are being shortened. So the plagues are one on top of the other. Now I'm going to start it right here at whatever, 12. I believe, wait, you know what? Hold on, let me see. So this is full spectrum survival. We are under attack. They are destroying America. The dollar is in collapse. An hour ago. Forgot where I was going to start. It was 12:50. Let me see. Bear with me.
Anymore. And let me tell you why that's dangerous, because every step along the way in this conflict, Russia has said that if Russia...
It's before that. Let me see. Let me get 10:50. Let me see.
It means basically the corporation.
So here we go. Now the devil is fast at work knowing he's done.
And the government are in a recession. Things are going to be, in some ways, past the point of no return.
Listen to his language.
Said that the U.S. economy will enter into a technical recession. Emphasized that the U.S. is prepared to take on North Korea. Back to the economy. In the Bank of America, the CRO, Brian Moynihan, has said that the U.S. economy will enter into a technical recession in the third quarter of this year, 2023.
Okay, now we're dealing with finance right now. Watch how quickly he's...
Let me tell you something. As they accept that the U.S. economy, that means basically the corporations and the government are in a recession, things are going to be, in some ways, past the point of no return for millions and millions of people. You'll have lost your job, lost your house, lost your car, foreclosed, repossessed, taken away, can't afford it, and that's what they want.
Okay, what he just said right there, he had a little run, right? Well, that's what this is saying. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. That's what he just said. All right? He's using a different language, Salaki. Okay? Listen to the doom and gloom. All right? You lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your car, you just going down the line. Okay? You get a divorce, right? You lose your bank account. They take your money from you. All you got left is a gun. And you can march right up into the bank, demand your $300, and they ain't going to give it to you. But the police haven't taken off their uniform quite yet, and you're going to go to prison. Right? It's all downhill from there.
Things are going to be, in some ways, past the point of no return.
And that's called the Rubicon. Past the Rubicon. Right? The point of no return. And that's what this is saying. Back to this. All right? Even so, shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Right? And people are going to break. They're going to absolutely break. Come on, Skeletor.
For millions and millions of people. You'll have lost your job, lost your house, lost your car, foreclosed, repossessed, taken away, can't afford it. And that's what they want, folks. The Federal Reserve has come out and openly said their only fight to inflation, to high prices right now, is you losing your job. Why? Because then corporations will have to lower the price of goods. Car makers will have to lower the price of cars. Service operators will have to lower the price of services because no one can afford to pay for it. Their answer to your current financial hardship is more financial hardship for you. That's why I tell you that there comes a point in time where people revolt. Now, this is not looking good at all. The U.S. intelligence director has said that Russia will have to rely wholeheartedly on its nuclear weapons.
Now he's back to World War III. All right, we'll let him speak a little more. We're going to get a couple of precepts and try to keep it short. Everybody knows, everybody's watching the market right now, and that thing is just flip-flopping, and they're throwing money at it and trying to keep it green, and they barely can. They stopped trading on all the banks because they're just completely failing, and they're keeping it a secret.
On severe and crippling cyber attacks and the backing of China in order to retain superpower status after a defeat in Ukraine. That's dangerous. At an intelligence committee hearing, a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing, the Director of National Intelligence, Haines, said that Russia has suffered losses that will require years of rebuilding, and it will leave less capable Russia, that basically Russia will not pose a conventional military threat anymore. And let me tell you why that's dangerous, because every step along the way in this conflict, Russia has said that if Russia is threatened as an entity,
they're going to bring out the nukes. Watch him say that next.
That basically means as a government, as a country, as a military threat, it will go to nukes. As a result, Haines has said that Russia will become even more reliant on asymmetric options, its nuclear weapons capabilities, space capabilities, infrastructural sabotage, cyber attacks, and it will retain reliance on Russia. They now warn that as intended, Russia is less of a traditional military threat. It will leave it reliant on these options: nuclear weapons, a nuclear launch, cyber attacks against infrastructure, setting up their spies to attack infrastructure in other countries.
Well, we got that right now with the train derailments, and the food processing plants blowing up, and weather warfare, or whatever you see going on right now. You can't sleep on it. All right, so go back and watch the full Skeletor survival. All right. All right, this is full spectrum. 1 hour ago, we are under attack. He's putting it all together, right? It becomes a little mundane after a while. So I'm going to just try to get out. Let's get Second Ezra's, what, 6? Let's get 6. And then What else did I want to get? Because nothing is going to say what. How is the Most High going to achieve the end of this world as we know it? Okay, it's through World War III. It's through those missiles. Okay, and Vlad is holding all the cards. He's being stirred up, and he's only going to have one option. Okay. Start right here. Second is 6 and 22. And suddenly, all right, because people don't even know right now about the financial crisis. They don't even know. So it's going to happen to them. It's going to happen out of nowhere. Suddenly, shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay, and we're there, right? At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, right? No food, no power, no money. Took my money. Where's my enemy? My enemy is my neighbor, right? My enemy is the guy next door. We used to be friends. Right now, we're not even frenemies. This guy got food. I'm hungry. And the earth shall stand in fear. Look at all the fear. Okay? Trumpet shall give a sound. Every man heareth, suddenly afraid. Right? Stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still. In 3 hours they shall not run. Okay? When your buddy is coming at you with a knife or a firearm, you're going to be afraid unless you're ready. Okay? Skeletor here. Right? Let me back that up and let him talk about them nukes one more time because that's the end. Right? How's the Most High bringing the end? With those nukes. Then we start over.
Russia has said that if Russia is threatened as an entity, that basically means as a government, as a country, as a military threat, it will go to nukes. As a result, Haynes has said that Russia will become even more reliant on asymmetric options, its nuclear weapons capabilities, space capabilities, infrastructural sabotage, cyber attacks, and it will retain reliance on Russia. They now warn that, as intended, Russia is less of a traditional military threat. It will leave it reliant on these options: nuclear weapons,
nuclear, right?
Launch, cyber attacks against infrastructure.
Okay, so that's the end. How close are we to the end? This close. Let's just get Revelation 11. All right. Here's the nukes right here. Revelation 11 and 13, in the same hour was there a great earthquake. Those nuclear missiles all hitting at the same time is going to cause a great earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell. 10th part of what city? Babylon the Great. Okay. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. That's everybody that wasn't beamed up right here on 12. Come up hither. Right? And the remnant were affrighted. The remnant is the ones that got beamed up. They were scared, shitless, and gave glory to the power of heaven. Okay, so there's the nukes. That's the end of the world as we know it right there. Okay, changed forever. What is it called? The second woe is past. This is Revelation 11 and 14. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So Skeletor says, what does he keep saying? Nukes, 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 nukes. Every word out of his mouth is nukes.
That's dangerous. At an intelligence committee hearing, a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing, the Director of National Intelligence, Haines, said that Russia has suffered losses that will require years of rebuilding, and it will leave less capable Russia, that basically Russia will not pose a conventional military threat anymore.
Meaning that they're not going to use small arms fire. They're going to move to the big guns, which are those nukes. Now, he's going to say nukes no less than 5 times in 2 sentences.
Let me tell you why that's dangerous, because every step along the way in this conflict, Russia has said that if Russia is threatened as an entity, that basically means as a government, as a country, as a military threat, it will go to nukes.
1.
As a result, Haines has said that Russia will become even more reliant on asymmetric options, its nuclear weapons capabilities,
2.
space capabilities, infrastructural sabotage, cyber attacks, and it will retain reliance on Russia. They now warn that, as intended, Russia is less of a traditional military threat. It will leave it reliant on these options: nuclear weapons,
3,
a nuclear launch,
4.
cyber attacks against infrastructure, setting up their spies to attack infrastructure in other countries, using space technology, and it will rely on China, basically selling itself out to China to remain a superpower. Some outlets are now reporting that solar energy production is going to...
Every word out of his mouth is nuclear, which is the end of the world. Okay? So we'll end it right here. Esau is the end, is he not? Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Oh, even Skeletor here. Skeletor is scared. Okay? He don't know what is about to happen. Esau is the end of the world. And we're at the end with those nukes. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. All right? Trading places, as the brother put a video up the other day. So we'll end it right there. We hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and very, very, very few sisters. Shabbat Shalom.